So here we are again, Nikki and I.
Hello.
We have a very, very special guest today on the Greek Soup, where we stir the pot. We have Caralyn, Mirand with us here today. I am so excited about this. A Buffalo native. She is a content creator and curve model. Her hope is that her platforms are a happy place to come and feel included and uplifted. She was a runner-up on Tyra Banks' Fiercely Real Teen Model Search, and she thought it was the end of the road for her in her career, but it wasn't. It was just the beginning. I'm going to let her talk more about her experience, and we're going to deep dive in that. Caralyn, so happy that you are here with us. We know you're a model and influencer. You have all these platforms. How do you get there? What was your journey?
Oh my goodness, what an intro. Thank you. So I was a senior in high school, applying for college. My mom told me to go online and look up some scholarship information, but as a angsty teen, I wasn't really listening to my mom at the time. So instead, I was taking my senior portraits and posting them. Tyra Banks was having a teen plus size modeling competition. So if you were a teenager and above a size 12, you were eligible to enter. Long story short, out of tens of thousands of applications, I was selected to be in the top 6. They flew my mom and I out to New York, and we competed in a mini America's Next Top Models type of experience on her Tyra show. As I said, I was runner-up at the competition. I thought this was the end of the road for me, so I went to Clarkson University in the fall, ended up modeling a little bit here and there, but if you know where Clarkson is, it is in Potsdam, New York, which is the furthest north you can get in the state of New York. So not the fashion capital of the world. Okay. And so I dabbled here and there, and I would drive and fly, and I was signed by a modeling agency my sophomore year of college. I graduated with a dual degree in business and social science, and I was all ready to accept a job in marketing. This is what I thought I was supposed to be doing. All my friends were taking, jobs, and so I just thought that was what I was supposed to be doing. And at the last second, I backed out. I was like, I can't do this job.
How old were you at this time when you had that epiphany?
21. 21 and no plan. And I just felt like I never gave modeling a full chance. So I moved back home to Buffalo, where I'm 10 minutes from an airport. So it was a lot easier to get around. Fast forward a couple years later, I went to a casting. I walked into this casting, and the first thing he asked me was, how many followers do you have on Instagram? And
wow.
And I stood up proudly, and I was like, I have 10,000 followers. And he laughed in my face, and he said, you better step it up, honey. So that was another aha moment of okay, what is social media? Why is it important? Why is it important that I have a platform? So the modeling industry goes through a lot of trends and waves. And at the time, it was going through a wave where brands only wanted to work with people who had a significant platform online, because essentially that was even more marketing and exposure for them. So I connected with this woman named Julian, and her and I figured out from scratch, okay, who am I online? What do I want to be? What do I want to be known for? What do I want to create? And so we kind of figured out the pillars of my platform and the things that I wanted to be known for. And the one thing I really knew at the time was what I learned as a model. So whether it was dressing for my curves and understanding plus size clothing, makeup and beauty, learning. I was sitting in front of some of the best makeup and hair artists in the industry, and I was learning and soaking in everything I could like a sponge. I was working for an undergarment, a lingerie company, and I learned about what a properly fitting bra is supposed to look like. And so from there, I took it as a challenge to take what I've learned and apply it to the average gal, and sharing my experiences and being able to translate that to everyday life.
Kanye and I, we talk about the power of self-sabotaging thoughts and insecurities and like moments of doubt. Did you ever have anything like that happen to you?
If we're being honest here, I deal with that every day internally. I mean, I call myself a confidence crusader. And what that really means to me is that I'm advocating for all of us to find our most confident selves. And that includes me. I'm in the weeds right next to you. I'm trying to figure it out.
You're definitely relatable, just through the types of the language that you used on your posts and your transparency and your honesty. And I think that is part of what Kanye and I always talk about, the power of like sharing your story. And people sometimes outwardly say, you've influenced me, but they're observing you. And I think that you're doing a really good job. And it's interesting you say that you yourself still struggle with that each and every day.
Thank you. And I actually really struggle with the term influencer because my goal is never to influence you. I have this incredible platform that can be influential, but I don't self-title myself an influencer. I prefer the term content creator because I'm creating content in hopes of building and inspiring and maybe learn something, maybe we'll laugh at something.
What have you noticed that, your fans or those who are reading, what are they finding? What are they searching for most from you when it comes to this inner confidence piece?
I genuinely thought that I was going to wake up one day and be confident and that would be it. And so I would just like, okay, maybe tomorrow, waiting around. But once I realized that confidence, body acceptance is a journey, not a destination, that's when it all clicked for me.
I love that.
We're not just going to like cross that finish line and be done. We're always working towards that. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And so that's my number one thing when people ask me is, you have to realize that you're not just going to be confident one day and that's it. You have to do daily things, whether that's looking at yourself in the mirror and saying 5 things you like about yourself, whether that's unfollowing people on social media that don't make you feel good about yourself. It's little things that add up towards a stronger and healthier sense of confidence.
So what is the self-care routine that you do on a daily basis? I know Nikki and I always talk about like, gosh, like what kind of routine exists every day, to be considered a curve model?
I think self-care, people think of it as this like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the spa and get a whole routine. Self-care can be the simplest moments, whether it's taking a walk or taking a shower, washing your face, throwing a little bit of lipstick on, whatever fills up your cup, I consider self-care. And so that looks different for everyone.
Self-care, most people think of self-care and they think of like meditations and,
Sure.
Things like that or massages. But honestly, you're right. You're spending time with a friend, a loved one, a family member can be just as effective.
For sure. And I will say, just putting on a bra, matching panty, it's like, ooh, okay, I'm doing this for me. Like I feel good underneath my clothes. That's something that is also part of my self-care routine.
Wait, so you said matching panties. So you believe in wearing sets?
Sometimes I try to coordinate. So if I'm doing like nude, I'll do nude on bottom or black or pink or whatever. I'll try to have like a situation going on.
So you mentioned those 3 colors and those are the only colors that I purchase.
Okay.
Like, do you stick to the neutrals or are you, or do you color coordinate?
Can I go rogue here for a second? We're actually sitting right next to my bra drawer. And I will say, I'm going to preface this by saying I work in the industry, so nobody needs to have this amount of bras. Like this is excessive and obnoxious. So let's see. This is my little undie drawer here. We got leopard. We got cheetah.
All right.
Floral, all the things.
I didn't come prepared. I would have brought mine. We would have.
Can I ask you, do you wear bralettes too?
I do. So I think a big misconception about bralettes is that a lot of people consider them wire-free options. And I think there's a time and place for wire-free options, especially around the house and comfort. But it ended up, when you are really full busted, it messes with your posture a little bit.
I have the opposite problem. So that's why I wear bralettes.
So I don't think you've ever been properly fitted.
You mentioned that to me before. Connie, I asked Caralyn a week ago, what is the one piece that I should buy to get rid of those rolls, the back rolls, when you're wearing t-shirts or whatever you're wearing. And she asked me, when's the last time you got properly fitted for a bra? And I was like, never. So can you tell us more about that? Why is it so important?
Sure. So I used to wear between a 38 double D or a 40D and didn't really think much of it until I started working in the undergarment industry. And I was like, okay, like this is how things are supposed to fit. So a properly fitting bra, it's like a ripple effect. Not only does it make you feel good, but I feel like your clothes fit so much better and you feel a little bit more confident, and it just kind of puts a little pep in your step. And so 3 quick tips to know whether or not you're wearing a properly fitting bra. That center wire in the middle should be laying flat in between your breasts.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Your little test. That center wire should be laying flat in between your chest.
Okay, I'm flat. That's good.
Wait, okay, so far so good.
The wire here should be behind all of your breast tissue. So it should be like back here, not sitting on top.
Oh, snap. Oh.
I'm good.
Then the band should be snug and parallel to the floor. So it's not riding up, riding down. It could feel, because that's where you're getting your support from, is the band, not the straps. The straps are only doing 10% of the heavy lifting. It's
Okay, that I never heard of. So the band is more important than the straps.
Yes.
So like some bras, have like a thinner band and then other ones have like a thicker band. Yeah. Is it advised one or the other, or it depends?
It really depends. It depends on your size. It depends on your shape. It depends on your density of tissue. There's like so many factors. So finding a properly fitting bra is like matchmaking. It's a journey. There's so many different factors that go into that, whether you are postpartum or nursing, or, there's different ages, our bodies change. So that's why I always say between 6 to 12 months, you should always go for a fitting, depending on life changes and stuff like that.
This is one of my areas that I've always struggled, because I feel like, when I was pre-kids, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I could walk into Victoria's Secret or whatever, and I could buy myself a bra and it was fine. I was like a B back then. So now I'm a D, but I'm always in between, it seems like, right? So I have struggled to find the right bra, and I have gone to get size, but now I'm like, okay, you tell me to get this and then it doesn't fit right because my boob is popping out. Even strapless bras, I'm like, I don't want to see the line. So this is such a big topic, I feel like, for women. And I know that there's a lot of places out there that do more customized kind of things. What do you recommend for us? Like, what is it that you think that we should do to really make this a priority so that we could feel better in ourselves, right?
First and foremost, I think educating yourself on what proper fit looks like is huge. And then supporting and shopping at retailers that I would consider fit focused. Nordstrom has been a leader nationally. They've been doing fittings for years, and they have teams of people that they train, and also local specialty shops. So really, there's nothing that can truly impersonate an in-person fitting. But I think educating yourself is number one for sure. So if you are able to get to a store, or you're going to order a bunch online, at least you know what you're looking for.
I wanted to ask you, what are some key staple pieces that everyone would benefit from in their wardrobe?
Absolutely. So undergarments is number one. I know we already hit that. I would say a good pair of denim, like good ass pair of jeans, and whatever that means to you.
We all want good asses in our jeans. So that's good.
I personally love basics. So t-shirts, things that I can layer. The one thing I always love, no matter what, is a nice blazer. You just throw it on and you just feel confident. Even if it's not a typical blazer, it could be like a little sweater blazer, just something that you can easily layer on.
Caralyn, do you like sneakers?
I love sneakers. Got my white sneakers. These are my faves.
I
Nice.
love those. Yeah.
What brand are those?
These are Koch. I actually just
Okay.
did a whole like white sneaker post. I just love wearing them with dresses. I like wearing them with jeans, with leggings. It's just, they're easy. Also a big mule gal. I like good slip-on shoe. I really think it too. It's about like, what is your lifestyle? Where are you, where are you at in life? And then finding pieces that work for you.
So if I'm someone who has no clue about where to go to find these pieces, what do you recommend, let's say for me, to get started?
I would take a look at your Instagram feed or Pinterest. You can search by your size and find someone with a similar body type to you. See what they're wearing. And most oftentimes these content creators or influencers will have all of their outfits linked up and shoppable. So they do all the hard work for you. So essentially all you have to do is click and buy it yourself. So I think spending some time online, getting some inspiration, whether it's on Instagram or Pinterest, that's kind of the new way of shopping.
Do you have your own clothing line?
So I did. I partnered with Amazon to do a limited edition collection. It was only available for 30 hours. They call Amazon the Drop, and it was only available for 30 hours and then it's gone forever. And everything's made on demand, made to order in effort to reduce waste. That was an incredible experience. I hope to do it or something like that again.
So where is Caralyn headed? When you think about, your passions, your why, right? What gets you up in the morning? What can we expect from Caralyn, in the next year and the next few years?
I think for me personally, I just want to continue building my platforms, potentially through different mediums, exploring different avenues in there, but continuing to connect with my community and empower them and set some bigger goals for myself. With COVID, the world has certainly changed, and this year especially has been an incredible exercise in adaptability. I know it's a little broad, but definitely continuing to support my community and grow my community and connecting with them in new ways.
I have to ask this question. Okay. So Spanx. I gotta tell you, I wore a pair. Sometimes they feel like it's hard to breathe. But what is your favorite Spanx piece that we should all have in our closet?
So here's the thing with Spanx that people don't really realize, and just shapewear in general, is shapewear is not your grandma's girdle anymore. Like, shapewear has truly evolved over the past decade, and so there's so many different levels and styles of shapewear now. And Spanx in particular, they have 3 different support levels. So whether you're just looking for a little smoothing or you need like full compression, there's a whole range. So I mean, I love a good little short that I can wear underneath dresses. For my wedding, I wore like a full body cat suit that kept it all right and tight. I mean, there's so many great.
How'd you go to the bathroom?
There is what people call a gusset. It's like you pull it to the side in the crotch area and you do your thing. It worked out great.
We didn't have that when we got married. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
And that's another thing too, is like there's so much shame tied to undergarments and shapewear, and like whether you wear it or don't wear it, it's all good,
Wow. So this has been amazing. I have one question left. Well, 2 questions, I should say. What is your biggest pet peeve? And the other one is, what's your favorite color nail polish?
I will say, and COVID has been excellent for my one pet peeve is personal space. Like that's been great, but I do like good amount of personal space. But my favorite
Ew.
nail color, I always have a pale pink. No matter what time of year, I always have a pale pink, a neutral. That's my modeling background. We just always had to have it for modeling, and it's just one thing that always stuck for me because when they grow out, it's not as noticeable.
That's a good tip, my dear. That is really a good tip.
Definitely is. And this one, this is coming to me right now because, it makes me think about when I was a teen and I was anorexic, and just the concept of, I have a daughter, Nikki has daughters too. And, little girls who are struggling with their concept of weight. I had a situation this past weekend with my daughter too, where she was uncomfortable because a friend of her told her she has a belly and a butt, and we had to have a conversation about it. What are some things you would say to those little girls? What do you think they need to hear?
It breaks my heart. Honestly, I think now more than ever, there's representation, which is something that there's never really been much of. I mean, I can think of maybe one or two curvier women that I looked up to growing up, and realizing that it's okay to be whatever size you are, and your self-worth does not equate to the number on the scale or the number that's inside your dress. Being kind and being genuine is a feature that we should celebrate.
You're so genuine, and I really appreciate your openness with us here today. And you gave us a lot of tips and tricks that I know I'm going to go double check my bra fitting and things.
Yes, me too.
We look forward to seeing everything you're going to do next. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And if you're looking for me, you can find me at caralynmirand.com or at Caralyn Mirand. My name's spelled a little weird.